Peace and love, family. You already know what it is. You already know who it is. You know why we're here. So let's get right into it. Now, if you came for what I came for, then we're here for the same thing, which is change, real change, radical change, change that we can implement and make applicable in our lives today. Now, it's another episode of The Angry Black Man. So, just remember, live life out loud with purpose. Now, I'm so angry today, man. I think I got every right to be angry today, guys. Excuse me. Now, I had to address someone today who decided to make a comment on one of my videos. Now, the person was in the wrong, and I told them that I apologize. I mean, that they apologized, and I told them I forgive them. And I did, and I'm letting it go, guys. But the only reason I'm bringing it up right now is for the sake of this video, and that's the only reason. And after this video, I won't talk about it again. I will let it go, because that's what forgiveness is. Now, the person decided to comment not to me, but they commented to somebody else. And then, not only, I don't know, to the somebody else, but it done went through the grapevine. I get it, third and fourth hand. You know, well, you know, one of those he said, she said kind of things. So, me, I'm a man, and I'm about mine, and where I come from, man, I'm built a little different. If I have offense with somebody, I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to address it. So I did. Hey, I called the young lady up. Please excuse me for 1 second, guys. Yeah, so you notice coming out of that door. We'll talk about that in a second. So, you know, I had to address the young lady and tell him, you know, hey, you in the wrong. You know, first of all, they trying to throw the Bible up at me. And then when I beat them back up with the Bible, now they don't really want to talk. And now they realize, okay, I was wrong. And that's what gets me about a lot of these religious people. They hang out and under the umbrella of religion. And they think this umbrella is going to protect them from everything as long as I hang out under the umbrella. But I'm going to tell you right now, religion is nothing but a prison. And Christianity being one of the wardens, Islam being another one, Judaism being another one. You know, these are just the wardens of the prison. Now, let me stay back on subject. Commenting on my video, not bringing it to me. Therefore, first of all, that's wrong. Second, if you got a problem, you ain't got to watch, pretty much, because nobody's begging you to. I'm not making this video for the world. I'm making a video for you. You who's looking, who's listening right now. You know, you took the time out to click on my video, and obviously you think I got something to say, or else you wouldn't be here listening. Thank you, and I appreciate you. By the way, take a moment right now. We'll stop for a second and hit that thumbs up button for me, man. Costs you absolutely nothing. It's free. And leave a comment down below. I'll stop and pause for a second for you to hit that thumbs up button. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. I really do. It's going to go a long way. Now, I'm really angry, guys. I'm really angry. And I'm sorry, I'm just that angry. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is the thing that I believe causes separation, strife, and animosity between a lot of people. And it's come between families, you know. And that's the Bible, the Holy Bible. I'm having a problem with the Holy Bible. And anybody who believes that this is the only place that God exists. And if you can't find God outside of this Bible, then he's not real in your life, man, because this is the only thing that's real in your life is the Bible. And that's who you have a relationship with. You have a relationship with the Bible. You don't have a relationship with God, because if you had a relationship with God minus the Bible, you still have a relationship with God. And you'd be able to find him outside of the Bible. And I challenge any of you, anybody to bring me facts. Facts. I need facts that Jesus or any of his compadres existed outside of the Bible. Show me any evidence, any fact. And I'm not saying that he hasn't, that Jesus doesn't exist outside the Bible. I'm not saying he does. I'm not saying he doesn't. Because if you've been watching my videos, you know what I believe. I don't subscribe to the man Jesus Christ. And I think that's what too many of you are. You all are trying to compare yourself and live your life according to the man Jesus Christ. And you can't do it. It's impossible. And the Bible tells you that. But the Spirit of Christ. Now, the Spirit of Christ, I can get behind that. Now, if anybody, again, I challenge anyone to show me proof. Give me any evidence that Jesus existed outside the Bible. Show me God outside the Bible. So I asked the young lady, how long has the Bible been around? How old is the Bible? I think she could have said about 1,500 years. I think she's a little off. It's more like about 2,000 some odd years, but I could be wrong. I'm not a scholar, guys. I don't try to be. I'm not claiming to be. What I am is probably I'm probably your barbershop theologist, your barbershop theologist. That'd probably be me. I know some things. I don't claim to know everything, and I don't. But I try my best to get to know a little bit about everything. A little bit. Just so I can have conversation. And I believe everybody has something to say, So again, I do not subscribe to the man Jesus Christ, but I do believe wholeheartedly into the Spirit of Christ. That's what we need. And again, this right here will be a barrier. This will be the thing that separates people. You think this is what brings you together. This is the thing that separates people. It has since they've given it to us. And then you ask yourself, I ask myself, why they give me they give me bad food. I don't get no medicine. They give me beatings. They give me hard labor. They're gonna give me all these things that are bad for me, but then they're gonna give me the good book. Folks, we got to do some reconditioning and rethinking about some things. Now, are there some good moral truths in this Bible? I do believe so. It's a great moral compass, going to point you in a lot of great directions. But I've heard it put like this: if we see a piece of fresh kale and it's in the trash, does that make the trash healthy? Certainly it does not. And I ain't going to eat out the garbage can just because it got a good piece of kale in it. You know, I'm not subscribing to that garbage can. Okay? You get that? Now, who else would go pay, let's see, it cost you what, about $30 to go see a movie? $30. Would you pay your $30 to go see a movie and then they cut it off like 3/4 of the way? Well, that's what some of you are doing when you buy into this, because you're only getting a fraction of what the word is. So let's talk about some history for just one moment and just be real clear. I'm gonna just we're gonna walk with me. Just walk with me for 1 minute. All right. So now 321, I believe 321 AD, Constantine decided he was gonna follow Christianity. Now, he said he had some kind of premonition or a visit from the Spirit of Christ, the Spirit of God, while on his way to a battle, and God said if he fought under his banner, he would be victorious. So he did. Anyone. However, story actually goes like this. They did have a guy who was a scribe who followed Constantine, and he did record all the things that were going on. That was not recorded during that time. Actually, wasn't recorded till afterwards. It was sometime afterwards, and Constantine was at a party, and during this party, he was telling the story of the vision that he had before he went to that battle. But that's the first time that the scribe heard it and wrote it down. And when the scribe wrote it, he also wrote down that that's the first time he heard it. This is true history. Now, I challenge any of you to call me a liar, and I'll find it for you. All right. Now, again, so now after that, Constantine decided that we needed a new canon, and the canon needed to be about the life of the Christ. And now they had a lot of different ideas about what Christ was going to be, who Christ should be. Was he a man, a mere man, or was he the Son of God, or was he God himself? And when they came up with a concept, they decided to remove books that were contrary to the concept. So as long as it lined up with the concept of what they decided the character and the attributes of Christ would be, those are the books that they decided to keep in the Bible, our Holy Bible. And that's the reason why I have a problem with it. Because anytime what we did now what we've done, we've bought into somebody else's idea of what they think Christianity should be. Now, Christianity actually existed well before Christ, but that's for another video. If you guys want me to dive into that, I will go there for you. Now, the reason why I decided to even sit here was because my Ankh symbol is here on my door, and I'm proud of this Ankh symbol. And the young lady made mention about me having an Ankh symbol and being a man of God, but obviously, you see, again, people just being ignorant and just not knowing, or not even taking the time to find out, what is this Ankh symbol? What does it mean? So, and what does it represent? And do you even know what the cross that you have and what that cross represents? Do you even know? People wearing it around on their neck and having it up in their house and all that. What does that even represent? Heck, for the average Christian, they would say, okay, that was Jesus died upon the cross. I'm gonna tell you this: if my son died in a car accident, I wouldn't walk around with a balled up, smashed up car walking around my neck. I wouldn't have a picture of a car accident hanging up on my wall, and I wouldn't be sitting around praying to the car accident and thinking the car accident can save me. Now, I find that a lot of people are going to be offended by a lot of different things, but see, the reason why people have different views is because we have different experiences. Because I've had different experiences, it's allowed me to grow in a different direction, and because of my growth, I look at life differently. And it's okay that I do that. We do not all have to look at life the same way. And to say that we can get along, we should be able to look at life the way we want to, and not cause offense to anybody else. So what? I see life the way I do. I'm not doing anything to hurt you by looking at life the way I want to see it. And my relationship with God should not offend you. And if I want to walk around and have an unk symbol, it shouldn't bother you. And you shouldn't be making mention of it or even talking about it to somebody else. The first thing you should do is be talking to me if you got a problem with it. Point blank, period. Okay? Now, the unk symbol. Let me educate you just a little bit. So what this unk symbol represents to me, it represents life. Now, most of the deities, and they were not afraid to have female God figure deities. Now, and when I say God figure, I'm going to use the word God because that's for the most part that people can understand. But actually, in ancient Kemet, there was no such thing as God. They believed that there was a all-knowing, all-great force. There was a supreme force, but there was no name for it. It wasn't like it. Or I mean, it wasn't like a he or a she. It was more like a what, and it was unexplanatory. I can't explain it to you right now, but it did have different natures, different attributes, and those are the things that are represented in Kemet, which was written on the walls over 33,000 years ago. 3,300 years ago. That's what I meant to say. 3,300 years ago. And that's when it was founded, guys. Ain't no telling along how much before that. And this is the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I'm starting another journey. This is my next book, my next good read. I just got finishing up a couple other books. I read this book. This helped me. The Historical Origins of Christianity by Walter Williams. A lot of great facts. I got facts here, belief here. Facts, belief. Facts, belief. Now, is there some history in here and some facts? Yes, there definitely is. But, however, these I can trace, I can see tangible facts. And this book will tell you where and how Christianity got started. Facts that can be proven. And I challenge anybody to speak against the facts. And if you want to, please come, feel free, drop me a line, leave me an email. We'll set up time. If you want to go live, we will. Let's do it. Let's get it in. Get this work if you really want it. All right. Now, the Eye of Horus. I got that up there as well. Got the Eye of Horus. This represents truth and justice. And then the sun. Sun is the giver of life. All things fall under that sun. And that's the reason why I got the image of the sun there, then the eye of Horus, and the Ankh. The Ankh represents life to me. You know, the fallopian tubes, the birthing canal. That's what this is. And that was what our ancient ancestors seen when they represented the Ankh, that's where life come from. It's through women. And that's where all life began. And I'm not afraid to buy into that, because if we don't, we have to believe that, you know, this male entity, and because God is a he, because the Bible clearly says he, and whenever it gives it's always God is in the masculine. God is a masculine word, not goddess. It's God. And then God by himself has a son to save us, another man. I'm not afraid of you women. I'm not afraid of my women, and not afraid that, and to think that a woman is subservient to me or lower uh, than I am in life is not so. And that's far, far, far from the truth. Could never be the truth. And my wife to me is everything, man. She represents life. And I heard a young man say that his wife was God. And according to his definition, he's absolutely right. My wife is God. I don't know no other entity on earth that can bring forth life but a woman. Now, not only does she has the power to terminate that life at any given time, and I'm not talking about just going to the clinic. If she shuts down mentally, emotionally, that baby can just be uh, aborted. So, yeah, she has that power, and she gives that baby nurturing, and she's passing on DNA. My 23 chromosomes is done. I put my work in. 5-10 minutes of fame is done. After 9 months, that woman is still given to that child. I have to wait until the child is born before I can be a father. She's a mother already from the time she conceives. She's bringing forth life. She's giving life, and she's feeding that kid all kind of DNA and emotions, and all those things are going into that child. I did not have nothing. I don't. 5-10 minutes of fame, bro. 15 if I had a drink or two, huh? But anyways, so yeah, my wife is God. I don't know, no, there's nothing on earth that can do what women do, you know. And then if she breastfeeds, she's still passing on DNA, So yeah, big ups to y'all women, man. I give y'all the utmost respect. And to think of a child coming out my sex organ, huh? Man, if I had to run around with a child in my stomach, man, bro, I have a problem when I eat a steak and it's set on me too long. But so yeah, to get back to the subject again, we gotta stop, man. We gotta stop being afraid to be different than one another. And just because my view of God might be a little different than other people's view, don't mean that I still don't want to. I still don't want the best for everybody, and don't believe in God. I just know where God is. You're the lost person. See, the only place God exists to you is right here. And you have to find him in an outside source. This tells you he's somewhere way out there. This tells you that he's not tangible to you. That's what this tells you. This makes God a ghost. God is an alien. He's an extraterrestrial, according to this. And man, if I lived my life totally according to this, man, I'd be so confused, so beat up. So I challenge anybody to tell me I'm a liar when I say, man, that God said it's okay that you go and rape women. It's right here in your Bible. I know exactly where it is. Know the scripture and the verse. Test me. And I know I told you another place in the Bible where God says you can go and kill everybody in a certain land. You kill all the people, kill everybody, kill the cattle, all this other stuff, and then the women as well. But any women child that has not had sex, you can keep that child for yourself. Yeah, that's your God in this Bible. Now, what is that girl gonna feel like when she's sitting there being pummeled and molested by her captor, and then he's talking about you can marry her, be one of wife. That's if they make her a wife, concubine, whatever. And then, you're going to take me as your wife. Now I got to bear you children. And then I got to believe in your God that told you to go kill all my family and all my people. And I have to bow down and trust your God now. And teach my kids that your God is so good. After he told you to kill my family and rape me. Right here. This thing right here that separates people. This is a division. Stop. You have to stop, people. We got to stop. You got to wake up. Now, I'm not saying that God isn't, we can't find truth, or this is not a path to lead you to God. Because it is. It's a great conduit. Help me get there. But, it's not the only path, is what I'm saying. And if you follow this path, it's going to have you believing in a God that it's a bit narcissistic, a bit vile, and according to this, he is a bit confused, man, and has a lot of things going on. He's got a favorite people that he punishes, and he kills all the rest of the people around and takes their women. Anybody that's not his favorite people, man, they all doomed for hell. They can just die, because he just wants them all dead. Kill them, take their stuff. Kill them, take their stuff. Kill them and rob them. Kill them and rob them. That's what he tells them. Kill them, rob them, take their land. I'm giving it to you. So, free yourself, man. Free yourself from religion. Free yourself from the Whartons, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Now, there's a lot of other religions out there, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful of any of them. Free yourself from all of them. And because here's the thing. The Spirit of Christ, that Spirit lives in Judaism. The Spirit of Christ lives in Islam. The Spirit of Christ lives in Buddha. The Spirit of Christ lives in Ayya Krishna. You get that? Stop trying to figure out and focus on everything that makes everybody different. And let's find out what we have in common. Let that be the thing that we build on. Let's build on the things that we have in common. You know, we're all going to find offense with one another in some way or fashion. Heck, I got a black and white chair. Does that offend you, sis? It's black, it's white, it got a pillow on the top. I hope that doesn't offend you. Got to grow up and grow over some things. You know what I'm saying? And even if you are offended, don't mean you have to comment on everything. Just because so what, you got a problem with it? So what you got to say? Why do you have to feel like you need to say something? Huh? What business is it of yours? What makes you think you got to comment and then you don't even comment to the person? But you got to make a comment. Huh? That don't even make sense. So, you know, I hope we all can one day find a place in life where, you know, the Buddhist monk can walk into a Christian church with his Islamic friend and they can all sit down and break bread and talk about life and grow with one another and have a conversation about what they have in common. And not argue about what makes them different. You know. So what? I have an Ankh symbol. I still love God. I just know where He is. I feel sad for you that you don't know where He is. The Bible has you confused. And it has you lost. Because if you only knew. All right, I'm going to tell you the secret. All right. I wasn't going to tell you, but I'm definitely going to tell you. So, I changed my mind. I'm going to tell you where God is. I know where God is. All right. All right, come on. Get close. It's not for everybody. Can't let everybody in on this. God is right here. I'm God. Did you hear me? I'm God. But guess what? You're God too. That's right. I don't own the real estate on God. I'm not God all by myself. I'm only God because you're God too. We make up God together. Okay? Did you get that? This isn't God. This is an interpretation of somebody's interpretation of the interpretation of somebody's idea of what God was. Did you get that? This is somebody's interpretation of somebody's interpretation of somebody's interpretation of what they thought the idea of God was. And you bought into it. Think about why the Bible was written and why they gave it to you. Why did we have to get a King James version? What was the version before the King James version? What was that version? Why did we need another version? And in that version, what was changed? Because there had to be something changed in order for us to have another version. We had to change something because we needed a new version. So what was different about that version? And who was King James? And why did he want to give us a Bible? Did we have one before that? Did everybody have a whatever Bible in their home before the King James Version came out? Because we all got a King James now. I bet you everybody can find a King James somewhere in the house or in your grandmother's house. It's on the table underneath the chair, holding up the bookshelf in the back or something. But you got one somewhere. And they say it's the greatest story ever told. That exactly, it's the greatest story ever told, guys. All right. Now, I love God. I'm in great relationship with him. And I know that the God that I serve would have a great understanding for me to try and look for him outside of the Bible. And why I had to find him outside of the Bible, because man had too many hands in this thing. There's been too many hands, too many interpretations, too many things. So the book of Genesis, the first 2 chapters, I believe, was written by one person, and then the next chapters were written by somebody else. 2 different accounts of the coming forth of man. One was more priestly, one was more creation. You know? So many other different things, man, that we just got to figure out and understand. So what we got the two different priests writing 2 different accounts of Genesis, and we're supposed to buy into that, but they don't teach me that, but I had to find that out, so I'm saying that to say these things. We got this Bible, and we claim it to be the Word of God. And if it was the Word of God, like they claim it to be, I think God would have made it a lot more plain. Why did he have to make it so difficult and have so many people do so many different things to it? So again, in Genesis, written by 2 different people, but the original archaic text then translated into Hebrew, and then now we have it, Latin, now we have it. And how many Hebrew words do you know for father? Let's just take the word father, for example. So the Hebrew word for father, what do you think it is? No, you're wrong. It is not Abba. And I know a lot of you said Abba. Abba is not the word father. It doesn't actually mean father. It means the head of the house, and the head of the house. But it could be the uncle, it could be the brother, it can be the mom. She may be the head of the house. Who knows, dad isn't around, and she's the Abba, the head of the house. But in translation, and as we got it down, we think that Abba, because they've used it and represented it with father, Abba, father, we equate it with that. So we would think Abba means father, dad, but again, that's how, we lose things into translation, and that's just one simple word, and there's how many in here? And then, they're used in different ways in different texts. We can take one text and out of the Bible, and it's used and meant one way. And then we take that same text and read it somewhere else, and it's meant in a totally different way. Come on, we say God is a God of decency and order. If he's a God of decency and order, that's not decent, that's not order. That's the most confusing thing I've ever seen or heard. So again, we got to grow up. We got to stop buying into fairy tales and having this, this is all pseudo, man. This is all fairy tale. We've been indoctrinated for far too long with somebody else's version of how we should see our creator. I'm thinking that there is a creator out there. I know there is one. And I'm sorry, he's not out there. I know that there's a creator. And he lives in me. You know, I just, again, my view and my thought process when it comes to God is different. But religion, I'm totally against. Again, that's just a prison. It's just a jail. And it will keep you locked. And any time that you have a thought that goes outside of the religion sect that you belong to, you become ostracized, and they will kick you out and shun you, dub you as quick as, man. That's because, again, we build these fake, disingenuous relationships with the church. We say it's with people, but it's really with the church. We have these fake relationships with the church, not with people. And that's why when somebody does offend us, we take it back out on the whole church. If we find offense in anybody, oh, I'm not going to that church no more. This is so-and-so, I can't deal with her, da 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 da. And you be done jump churches. Got you a whole new pastor, and I feel like a new guy. All because you got offense with somebody there. You know, because again, you have relationships with the church and not with people. You know, so when I know this to be true, you know, this COVID, man, I'm going to tell you, the COVID kind of changed my life. And that's the whole thing, guys. You know, during this COVID season, I've been able to sit at home and really study, really get into my Bible. And I couldn't go to church, and I couldn't rely on my relationship with the pastor anymore. I had to rely on my relationship with myself. So I began to search and read, and I had time to sit still. And I had to realize and think for a minute. Think for a minute. Just think, family. If the Bible is only 2,000 years old, and the Bible teaches us about faith, it teaches us about humanity, it teaches us all these things, what did the guy do 3,000 years ago? And if our only pathway to the Bible, to God, to heaven is through Jesus Christ, what did the guy do before Jesus Christ existed? How do they go to heaven? You know, if Jesus Christ existed and he existed on one continent, one terrain, one place in life, what about the people who lived on the other part of the world? Do they just go to hell by default? Because they never met Jesus, they never heard of him, they never got the story. So because they didn't get the story, they can't go to heaven. They just die and go to hell by default. I wonder if they're the imps or they the demons or what. No wonder hell is full of mother angry people. I'd be angry too. I ain't did nothing wrong. Lived my life good. Did all the good things. I just ain't met the Jesus guy. And because I ain't met him, I got to go to hell. I ain't performing the ritual. What about the people who died during the time Jesus was alive? Now, Jesus is alive and they died. Now, they didn't perform the ritual. You know what I'm talking about. I got to accept that I'm a sinner, say that I'm a sinner, say I'm a sinner, ask Jesus to come into my life, confess that I'm a sinner, say I won't sin no more, my life will be different, and then I'm saved. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta get baptized. I gotta sprinkle the water on my head. I think you gotta spin around 3 times, do a hop or something. No, no, no. I think you do the backflip, you do a backflip, and then you spin around 2 times. Touch your nose, you do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Come on, folks, grow up. And they really got people still performing the ritual. And they tell you that if you ain't saved unless you do this. You got to do this first. Come on, man. That's not God. That doesn't even sound like a good attribute or character of somebody that I want in control of my soul or my spirit. I'm not buying into that. I love who I am, and I love what I am, and I love what God has brought me to. Uh, uh, I'm going to continue to go to church. I'm going to continue to have relationship with my pastor and people in the church. Um, I'm going to continue to have conversations with you, and I'm going to continue my path. I'm on my path, my journey, guys. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for letting me dump on you for a little while, man. I appreciate you listening to me. Remember, if you heard anything that resonates with you, any truths that you can make applicable, please like and share this video. If you heard anything that you think someone else needs to hear, please share the video and like the video and tell them about this. Cost you nothing, fam, to give me that thumbs up. The button's right there. And don't forget, live life out loud with purpose.